"Attach plasma blades," came the order. With shaking hands, I fumbled to connect the glowing blade to my pulse rifle. This was it. In a few moments, I'd be charging onto the battle-scarred streets of New York with the rest of my squad in the Earth Defense Corps. My first time engaging the Hex. I was terrified. The Hex themselves were massive, hulking creatures, easily 9 feet tall with bluish-gray metallic skin that seemed impervious to our energy weapons. Their central body was encased in some kind of hexagonal exoskeleton with multiple limbs protruding. But it was the glowing, pupilless eyes and the strange, mechanical, whirring sounds they made that would haunt my nightmares forever. My buddy Reynolds gave me a grim nod. "Stick close, rookie. We'll blast through this together." I tried to return a brave smile. "You got it, Sarge. We'll wipe these bloody Hex off the map." But my false confidence wavered as I heard the aerial bombardment intensify. The ground shook and the noise was deafening. I couldn't stop my knees from knocking together. "Steady now," said Lieutenant Silva, clapping me on the back. "We've trained for this. Focus on your sector." Then we heard it, the shrill blast signaling the attack. "Advance!" yelled Samba Dr. Ward. With my heart racing, I leapt over the barricade and onto the rubble-strewn streets. I wanted to freeze or flee, but training and adrenaline propelled me forward. All around me was screaming and chaos. Concrete sprayed up from the plasma impacts, the air choked with smoke and ozone. But I fixed my eyes on Sarge's back and kept pushing ahead. Until that very moment, I still couldn't believe it. It started as a typical Tuesday morning. Commuters crowded the sidewalks, cars honked on jammed streets under sunny skies. Then we saw it, a ripple in the clear blue like a heat mirage. An illusion that quickly solidified into a massive alien warship, unlike anything ever seen on Earth. Chaos erupted as the morning crowd gasped and pointed at the behemoth now blocking out the sun. It had simply appeared out of nowhere, silent and undetected by our most advanced radar and satellite systems. We stood no chance against stealth technology so vastly superior. Panicked screams and questions of, "What is that thing?" echoed through the concrete canyons as people began fleeing in terror. But there was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide from the black leviathan hovering ominously above. On the bustling streets below the warship, it was pure pandemonium. Men in business suits abandoned their briefcases and sprinted for cover. Mothers clutched children tightly, their faces pale with shock. Cars swerved and crashed in the chaos, their drivers gaping in disbelief instead of watching the road. When the first plasma bombs dropped, the true scale of our helplessness became devastatingly clear. Entire city blocks were vaporized in an instant. Any foolish souls who had stopped to gawk paid the ultimate price. The explosions left nothing but scorched craters where iconic buildings had stood minutes before. As warships began descending across the globe with no warning, it finally sunk in. This was an invasion, a war for the very survival of humanity itself. And we were facing an enemy more technologically advanced than we could have ever imagined, one that had seized the advantage of surprise with ruthless efficiency. But the initial stunned paralysis gave way to steely resolve. Emergency broadcasts urged citizens to evacuate population centers in a coordinated retreat. Armies were mobilized, the full technological arsenal of humanity readied for a unified counterattack. They knew the odds were slim, but refused to go down without a fight. Back to now. We were halfway across when a cry rang out. PVT. Nelson was down, his legs severed below the knee. Red blood seeped from the cauterized stump. Sarge and I exchanged a horrified look. But before we could react, some Dr. Ward's voice boomed over the comms. "Leave him! Keep advancing!" I thought I would retch. We couldn't just abandon Nelson writhing there alone. But the commander's order was final. Swallowing bile, I tore my eyes away and continued toward the objective. Crouched behind a crashed hover car, I paused to steady my spinning thoughts. The bombardment halts, leaving an eerie silence hanging over the rubble. In these quiet moments, doubts creep in. What am I doing here, attempting this suicidal assault? I was just a miner, not a soldier. But then I remember why I'm here. For my home, yes, but also for the squad beside me, relying on me to do my job so we can survive together, and for all the innocent lives depending on us planetside. The fate of humanity hangs in the balance. As the barrage resumes, I slowly rise and advance to the next piece of cover. The Hex Hive spire, pulsing with alien energy, looms ahead. I must destroy it, but panic screams at me to retreat, to find some crevice to hide in until it's over. War changes us all. Today I must kill efficiently, without mercy, burying my conscience. But when this ends, reclaiming my humanity will be the real battle, if I even make it. Reaching the spire, I halt, gazing up at the throbbing alien mass. So many lost, so much potential extinguished. And for what? A few blocks of rubble? My heart feels heavy, but my mission leaves no room for doubt. I do what's required. The explosives peel open the spire, but I take no joy in the small victory. Blue blood now stains my hands, joining countless others. The price of survival is steep. As I watch my squad press forward, I mourn for both species, the brave and the deluded, dying for causes bigger than themselves. But still, I cling to hope. I must believe our sacrifice and sorrow will lead to peace, that our shared spirit will prevail if only we keep striving. War twists us all, making monsters of the noble, but we can learn, understand, choose another path. Someday, the guns will go quiet. I hold on to this fragile dream, even as I steel myself for the battles ahead. We have so far yet to go. That's it, everyone. I want to share some thoughts on a short story that powerfully captures the brutality and complexities of war. The story follows a rookie soldier heading into his first battle against a merciless alien enemy. We experience the story through his eyes as he grapples with paralyzing fear, the chaos of combat, and devastating moral dilemmas. The descent from naive enthusiasm into grim disillusionment is striking. Eager to prove his valor at first, the rookie soon confronts the visceral horror of war, the screams, the smoke, the non-stop barrage of firepower vaporizing everything in its path. His confidence quickly gives way to disbelief and shock at the carnage surrounding him. He's emotionally shaken when his commander ruthlessly sacrifices a fellow wounded soldier, abandoning him to die alone in order to complete the mission. This story compellingly shows how war takes an immense physical and psychological toll. The rookie feels compelled to silence his conscience and humanity, transforming into a ruthless killing machine just to survive. But he cannot escape the guilt and grief over the loss of life on both sides. He starts questioning the purpose behind such senseless violence. The story highlights the harsh paradoxes of war, sacrifice existing alongside callousness, individual heroism playing out against the backdrop of meaningless destruction. Desperate hope contrasts with grim resignation at the unbearable cost of it all. While the absolute hell of combat scars the rookie deeply, a flicker of optimism remains. The possibility that peace and understanding could someday emerge from the rubble if humanity keeps striving for it. This vivid, thought-provoking story sticks with you. It's a meditation on war's sheer brutality and the dream of transcending it that stubbornly persists in our shared human spirit, even amidst unimaginable violence and chaos. Let me know your thoughts on this powerful tale in the comments. What anti-war stories have affected you most deeply? I look forward to discussing them with you all.